So, good evening and welcome to LiveWire. I'm Ray Chatter, and thank you so much for tuning in. I want to say that every so often, there's somebody that works in the arts who ends up being a true multitasker, a triple threat, a real enfant terrible. So stay tuned for LiveWire right after this. Okay, well, my guest today is Elise Marie Hod, if you didn't know. Welcome, Elise. How are you?
Hi, nice to see you, Ray. Hello. Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's good to be anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm just so amazed when I talk to you about what you're doing, and I know the things that you've done. You were walking down the street one day as a regular person. You said, I think I'll be a TV series writer, no, a producer, no, a director, no, a film caster, no, an actor, no, a director, no, a designer, no, a producer. Phew. How did that happen? How did that happen?
Well, it's kind of funny you phrase it that way, that I was walking down the street one day. I was actually in my car listening to the radio, and this has got to be coming up on maybe 18 years ago now. And there was a notice on the radio that this company was looking for actors and for a program. And it was not, for once, it was not Barbizon, and it was not, oh gosh, what's the other one? There's another one, John Robert Powers. It was a group I hadn't heard of. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I was in this phase of life where I was sort of drifting. Like I wasn't happy with what I was doing career-wise. I was looking for something new to get involved with. And I'd always wondered what it would be like to get involved with acting, because it wasn't something I really got to do growing up particularly. So I essentially called up this company and got involved with them and ended up going down to LA for this big event. And I had several agents who were interested, and it actually started out as plus size modeling. And then I got involved with acting classes. And then from there I got involved with theater. And then from there I got involved with directing and producing and all the things, because, you know, I didn't go to school for any of it. I just sort of learned in the moment. And it was one of these things where that door opened. Okay, great. I'm going to go investigate that. Oh, well, now this door opened. I'm going to go investigate that. And as the doors kept opening and I would be able to expose myself to some new experience, I just started collecting all these different tools and then brought them all back here to Sacramento and have been using them here. So
amazing. Yeah. Let's go back. Let's roll you back in time.
Oh God.
To where I know you. I looked at your ISBN or whatever that's called.
On the IMDb?
Yeah, IMDb. That's
IMDb.
It. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know what that stands for, but it has a list of stuff you've done. And it shows a TV series that you did called Motel California in 2015.
Yes, it was actually an internet series. It was a web series that I helped get off the ground with a bunch of wonderful talent in LA at the time. It was a series that was just, you know, supposed to be these like 5-minute internet webisodes. And I was a producer on it. Sometimes I was a co-director. Sometimes I was an actor in it. And there was a main series that I was writing, a main through line, and then I had guest writers come in and guest directors come in and direct all these different little episodes for the show. And it was really fun. It was a fabulous experience. I was glad I got to do it. We filmed most of the time at the theater I was working out of in LA. That the building is actually, I don't even I don't even know if the building's still there. I know they sold the building and it got gutted and revamped. And so our motel is no longer there.
What was the name of the theater?
It was, oh my goodness. Why am I blanking on this?
It'll come back.
I can't remember the name of the theater building. It was actually a church that used it, but then it had these huge theaters inside the little space. And my company I was with at the time, Theater 68, was renting those spaces. And it was on Lancashire and Magnolia. It was actually on Magnolia, right near the corner of Lancashire down there in North Hollywood.
Good. Yeah. I know that area. And I actually once wrote a book on Los Angeles theater and had to have 1 page or 2 pages for every theater. So I'm wondering if it was one of the ones that's in that book.
It might very well be. I would not be surprised in the least. I'm sorry. I'm totally blanking on the name of the space because I don't think it was named a specific theater because it was used by a church group predominantly, but then they rented out to theater companies because they had, because it was a theater building. So, but I know that company, Theater 68, they moved around the corner to the old Def West Antaeus building. And now it's the Theater 68 building there on Lancashire. So that's where the company
theater lives there. That's so good to know.
Yeah.
So, so it's very interesting. Writing is another thing altogether.
Yes.
And how did you come to that? Because, it's so much fun being part of a group in a play and you've done that. It's so much fun being casting because you're looking at talent coming towards you. And as a director, you're sending talent messages. And so this interactive thing about the creativity of theater and filmmaking and playmaking and all of that. But writing a play or writing a film is a single soul thing. You're alone.
It is. I mean, it can be. And I think that's what was so fun about working on Motel California was the fact that it was a very collaborative thing. Like I had a very set specific outline that everybody had to follow. Like you have to be able to use these specific characters in your episode from the main storyline that I'm writing. You have to follow certain rules to stay within the confines of the story itself. And the story is that the motel is actually hell. And that's where you go when you die. And you are the creator of your own hell. So each episode was featuring different people what their hell looked like. And I think one of my favorites was an episode about a couple who end up they're having an affair and the woman leaves the hotel to go home and gets killed, unfortunately, in a car accident on her way home. But then she shows up at this hotel in hell thinking she's back at the hotel. So she goes to her hotel room and the guy is also there. And then they're trapped together for eternity in this hotel room. And the things the two of them are doing to pass the time are absolutely hilarious. Like it's
that should have received an award. That's really wonderful.
It was super funny and super well done and just well written. But I worked with the writer to help her incorporate certain elements, like when the person came in to check in at the hotel. Well, I've created what the hotel is, who runs the hotel, who these different characters are that monitor hell together. For example, there's Ms. Ayton, M-S-A-T-A-N, as in Satan.
Oh, I say
and
yes.
Runs the hotel. She's the big boss. And then there are all the different desk clerks who are the apostles. Some of them are. So it's a very goofy take on things. And there's a whole love story between a Jesus who is known as Jay and Ms. Ayton. And the reason Miss Ayton is in hell is because she and Jay broke up and God got mad and threw her there to run things. So that's the gist amazing. Of the whole thing.
So they just flashed something on the screen, which is what we're supposed to talk about in a couple of minutes.
Yes.
But we better talk about it now because now somebody's opened up the box.
Opened the box as we do.
So this is something you're doing right now, and you're streaming it live from the Uli Theater in Midtown.
Yes, we are doing a digital theater series versus a web series this time, and we're doing Matters of Life and Death. This was a show that was supposed to go up last year to promote our local playwrights. We were going to do a night, a 4-week run of one acts by our writers. And this time we're going to be doing Rope Tricks by Paul Hancock. He's the next person up. But basically the last Friday and Saturday of each month, we're featuring one of these writers that was supposed to do the show last year. We do an interview with the writer, so you get to meet the writer and see a little snippet about them. And then you get to watch the show. It's usually between 10 to 20 minutes for the piece. And then if there's additional things that we want you to know about, then that gets tacked in there too. And it's a little half-hour night of theater, just to sort of give you a little theater fix. So
that's really good. Good. And working with playwrights to take a live play. Are these done live?
Yes.
Oh,
This is all done live streaming. So when you watch the show, we are doing it in real time. That is what's happening. Now the interview with the writer is usually pre-recorded, but the show itself is live, and we're trying to give you that sense of that you're sitting in the theater with us and watching the show. So we're trying to bring a little bit of that live stage experience to you, because we know you can't be in the room with us. At least not yet. We're getting there, little bits at a time. So, but I'm super excited about it, because we have set up in there like a 3-camera, which is a throwback to, the old school of TV sitcoms, which is the 3-camera setup.
Yeah.
And with Rope Tricks by Paul Hancock, it's been super fun, because this is about 2 people who meet at the gym. And so he's boxing and she's jumping rope, and, there's all this stuff going on, but we get to catch all these wonderful little moments with the cameras. But I'm also trying with our camera work to make sure that you, again, feel like you're kind of more in the theater than just watching it, in a filmic way, which has been an interesting challenge. So
no, that was what I was getting to. I thought that's an amazing trick. To make a theater piece into kind of a film, a little bit into a film. It's fascinating.
Yeah. It definitely.
And then the other question is, you have actors doing this who are stage actors or film actors?
They are stage actors, but this is our third in the series. This is our third time doing it for May. Some of our actors have had a little bit of both experience. So, it does help to have a little bit of both stage and film experience, because that way, when we're working with you and with the blocking for the actors, we can say, okay, we do need you to hit a mark. And when you're in film, that means that there's a certain spot you do have to hit every single time, because if you don't, the camera won't catch you.
Absolutely.
But for the most part, we've been trying to make this really easy on the actors and be like, hey, we'll just sort of work around you and try to give you like a general vicinity to stay within. So please don't go too far left or too far right, because then you disappear like my hand's doing right now. So, but it's been
really fascinating.
This is our third in the series. You can see all of the episodes, because we do record them. So even though we're only doing it once once a month, on a Friday and Saturday, so there's 2 live shows, they are recorded. So if you wanted to see previous episodes, you could.
That's good. But the website, you have to go to this website that's on the screen right now. Don't take it off the screen, folks. emhpros.weebly. You'll have to explain that.
Yes.
.com.
Weebly is like, and a lot of people do know this. Weebly is like it's a site that you are able to utilize for free to build your own website. And there's a few of them that are out there. A few companies who do that. If you pay for the domain, then they don't have to put their little logo in it like the Weebly tag. But I don't have that kind of money yet. So
it'll come floating down.
We'll see.
It's a fascinating thing. So this is you're more of a producer here then, right?
I am producing this particular episode. The last 2 episodes I actually did direct, and I worked with both playwrights to help them adjust anything in the script that wasn't quite working right. That's also part of this process is workshopping the material a little bit, just to make sure it's in the best condition it can be in when we present it. And, hopefully giving the biggest amount of bang for the buck, so to speak. We want to make sure the story is being told that we want told. And I have often said, and I feel this way very passionately about writers, they are the backbone of everything we do. None of us, producers, directors, actors, lighting designers, set designers, costume, hair, makeup, lights, sound, all this stuff. None of this is necessary if you have no story.
That's correct.
And yet writers rarely get credited in the ways that the people who are the face of what's being told. You know, especially for writers and directors. I'm sorry, not writers and directors, but actors and directors tend to be the face of something. You know, you say you quote something famous, and you know, and then you quote it and say such and such actor or such and such character is attributed to that quote.
Yes.
Really, it's the writer. It's not the actor. It's not the character. It's the writer. And we don't really kind of give them the accolades that they truly deserve. So I hope with the writer's room, which is where this is a big part of, the writer's room is something I started right before the pandemic. The writer's room is meant to help local playwrights and screenwriters both, because we do have both in our company, to get their work produced, get them out in the public eye, and, you know, allow audiences to sort of know them and then want to see more from them. So that's the goal.
Does EMH Productions have a website of its own?
Oh, yes, that was the one that you did, emhproductions.weebly.com, emhpros.weebly.com. Okay. And that's sort of like the umbrella of everything. That's my company. Mm-hmm. And then I've created within that the Artists Collective, which is all the people, the writers, the producers, the directors, all the people. And, we're looking for more members to help grow this community of people out of the little Uli Theater. And then the writers are sort of like the backbone of all of that, because without their storytelling, we don't really have a whole lot to jump off from other than published works, which of course we're going to continue to do published works. We all want to see shows, but the goal again is to make sure that we are always every month doing something from one of our local writers.
A local writer. And that's so important. For many, many years, Sacramento was a place that its theater came from either the West End in London or New York. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't any other theater. And then to find a playwright around here at that time, or even a film actor around was, where do they come from? Oh, the film actors, they come from Hollywood. And
Yeah. We are here. We're here. We're around.
I know.
and I think the more we try to support and the more we try to grow our artistic community, the more we'll find that people might stay a little bit more and try to do more work here. I know opportunity is not necessarily huge here in Sacramento. Obviously, it's definitely not going to be the same as it is in Los Angeles or New York or Chicago or et cetera, especially when you're talking about theater. But we want to provide opportunity for people. And I don't know a better way to do it than to start with our writers and say, okay, people, let's make a show.
That's good. So let's take a look at some of your actors right now, and we'll get a sense, and you narrate it. I'll step back.
Okay, so obviously here we go, live streaming May 21st and 22nd, 7 p.m. You can go to my website to find out more about how to view the show, and this will be for Rope Tricks. That is a picture of B. Muller. He is they are part of the male lead, where he's the boxer and he's working out and everything, and kind of not wanting to be distracted too much by this woman who starts talking to him. And in the play, this character's name is I'm actually not going to give it away because there's a joke about what his name is, and I don't want to give it away. But there is Deb Bromley. She is the other woman in this play. She keeps interrupting everything. So she's a little bit of that comic relief going on, but she keeps interrupting the two main characters' conversation with, are you done yet? Are you done punching the bag? I want to punch the bag. And it's very funny. This is from a rehearsal the other night. She just joined the cast. So it's been really fun working with her. And then this is Janine LaForge. She is the one named Shelly. That is her character named Shelly. She is very into jump roping, or at least she's trying to be. And she knows all these things about rope. And so hence the title Rope Tricks. But there's also some other things going on with her little rope tricks that you find out about throughout the play. So you'll have to see it to find out.
And we don't have to go to the theater to do that, too.
No, you don't. And this is, of course,
go online.
Characters meeting for the, finally deciding to say hello to one another. And it's a very fun comedy, but it's also got some really touching, heartfelt moments that are very, I think, relatable to people who are trying to figure out how to date. It's tough to know how to date. Like it's just, and I don't think it matters anymore what age you are. It is tough to know how to date.
I know.
Like, it's just, I don't envy that process right now. I definitely don't.
I like it. Would you like to go to date with me? Totally amazing. So the writers that you get, you bring together, do they kind of like discuss each other's plays? What is the kind of a process that you use in a way?
Yes. So with the writers and the artist collective, we are meeting twice a month. We meet on the second and the last Monday of every month. And we get together to read either one of our writer's room plays. If they have something they're working on, then we get together and we read that. We give critique, we give feedback. We've been sort of honing in on more and more on how each writer needs feedback, what they want, what they're looking for. But within the group of the artist collective, we're getting all of our actors from there to do the readings, which is really great. And we've been reading some screenplays as well as some theater plays. So we've got stage and screen both happening. I'm looking forward to hopefully later this year doing some screenings for our Matters of Life and Death series, some screenings of some of our short films as well. So we have both worlds kind of colliding. I'm super excited to do Matters of Life and Death though as a little series this way, because it really allows the audience to get to know these writers. I'm really pleased for Paul to be able to do this piece. He and his wife Judith's piece was up last month. They're a married couple.
Well, you have to say say their names for the playwrights.
And Paul is actually he's a local painter as well, and I know he's had some health issues, and I think that makes this even more poignant to be able to do his work and share his words with everybody, because it's nice to be able to get that out there, because who knows.
So how many playwrights do you have in the group?
Say again?
How many playwrights do you have in the group?
I think currently we have 10.
10? Can you say their names?
Oh, sure. We have, let's see. So there's myself, there's Dan Fagan, there's Jason Johnson, Lonan Smith, Judith and Paul Hancock, Sharon Perpignani, Jack Deaver. I might be wrong. There might be more. Jack Deaver, Tim Foley. Oh my goodness. I know I'm blanking. Claire Langdon and Maggie Smith, Laura Shepard. So I'm up to what, 12 or 13 now?
Yeah, 13 or 14 there. That's great. And I know those playwrights, some of them. I think that's great. And I've seen their work and heard their stories before.
Oh, Scott Charles. Oh my gosh, how could I forget Scott? Oh my gosh, Scott's very gung-ho and is always putting up stuff and is always wanting to do things. And he started off this whole series, Matters of Life and Death. And he's actually got another one he'll be doing in June. He has a second one that he's put together that he's going to do in June, I believe. So we'll see him come back around and do some more.
Okay. Well, Elise Marie Hodge, we have a couple of more minutes to talk a little bit about things. And are there any other program areas that your EMH Productions have in the bucket are moving forward in bringing out?
For the rest of this year, you mean?
This year or next year?
Yes, actually, we have a very interesting couple of different things happening. We have a play that I am actually working with the producer. Oh, you see my little dog's head just popped up right there.
Oh, nope.
I've been working with a gentleman named Eric Stoffer, who commissioned me to write a one-person show for him. And he is not the performer, he's the producer, but it was a concept he came up with. And it is about coming to the theater for the night and being entertained by a bartender who will make drinks live.
Wow.
Yeah.
He does, huh?
We're working it out still, but we're in process. We're in the workshopping phase right now. And we're actually going to be casting that in the coming the next week. So if anybody who watches this is an actor and wants to could be considered, watch for those postings, or you can send
get onto your website
or go to my website. You can email me from there and let me know you're interested in more information. But it is called Life, Love, and Mixology, because mixologists are the kind of the upper class bartender. They're the ones that create these amazing drinks. From
a mixologist. I saw it said
mixology. Yeah,
I thought you said mythologist. I'm thinking I don't want to go to bar run into a mythologist.
There's the bartender who pours you the drink, and then there's the mixologist who makes you
that's right
a fabulous drink.
Oh, so, he doesn't say. Have you ever heard of Oedipus Rex?
Well, we have that going on. We also have a possible published work that is going to be coming out, but I'm not going to say too much about it. It's one we've been trying to get off the ground for a little while, but it's going to really depend on when we can really have audiences back in the theater itself. So while we're still doing everything live streamed, which is why we set up that whole system to be able to bring you shows, we're such a tiny theater that an audience is still restricted to like 5 people because the seats there's like 35 seats. So
we have to say goodbye. Goodbye. Come back sometime. All right, that's it for LiveWire. Thank you, Elise Marie Hodge. We'll see you at the theater, or at least so online.